Hello, I am Erin O'Brien, a member of the League of Women Voters of the Greater Dayton area. I am here today with one of the candidates competing in the Republican primary on May 8th to represent their party in the general election for the 43rd House District in Ohio. The winner on May 8th will face the Democratic candidate Dan Foley in the general election in November. The term of office is 2 years and the base salary is $60,584. The Republican candidate with us today is Kenneth C. Henning. Welcome, Kenneth.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We will begin our interview today by asking our candidate to tell us a little bit about himself and why he wants to serve as a state representative of the 43rd District. Kenny, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Thank you. So I'm Kenny Henning. I was born and raised in the city of Clayton, Ohio. Attended Northmont City Schools. Upon graduation, I attended the University of Dayton. After the University of Dayton, I got a job with Northmont City Schools. Went back to the University of Dayton for a graduate program, and I currently work at Montgomery County Courts. I've been on City Council in Clayton, Ohio since 2011. While studying public administration at the University of Dayton, I knew it was a little different than just reading about a problem in a chapter, addressing the problem in the next chapter, and then having the solution in the third chapter. So I was able to run for City Council in 2011, and I was blessed to join and become a member in January of 2012, where I am now serving on my second term. During my time in office, we have been very fortunate to obtain great collaborative grants with neighboring municipalities. One of my biggest achievements since joining council are the millions of dollars in grant funding that we've been able to obtain with the city of Trotwood and other neighbors. So that's something that I want to continue as a state representative while working with all of our municipal leaders around the Ohio's 43rd House District, which is in Montgomery and Preble County. So it's a pretty large district. We rack up a lot of miles going around, but we're blessed with lots of great support, and we're looking forward to winning the May 8th primary and then moving on towards the general.
All right, thank you. So, Kenny, if you are elected as the representative for the 43rd District, what will be your #1 priority?
So my #1 priority, honestly, would be local advocacy. Having been a Clayton City Council member, I've seen firsthand how Ohio has slashed local government funds. We've been very blessed to have a great state representative that has worked really hard to see that our municipalities in the 43rd House District get some funding, and Preble County has got over $1 million in state funding. Clayton has received funding, Trotwood has received funding, Harrison Township has. So Representative Rezovic has done a great job at really working hard with our municipalities and townships of the 43rd, and I really want to continue that trend. Part of my emphasis of study during the grad program I was in was economic development. So I want to work with all of our municipal and township leaders to see that they're all collaborating together with neighbors and working really well with the state, because I believe the state is a great partner for our local municipalities and townships. The next issue on my slate of issues would definitely be education. Having been a former educator, I want to be a state representative that really works hard with educators. I want to be in the classroom as much as I can when I'm not spending time in Columbus. I want to hear from them. I want to work with our local school board members and really know that they have a partner as a state representative. And the third really important issue on the slate of issues are agricultural concerns, especially out in Preble County, with that being such an agricultural community. We'll continue to work really hard with the Ohio Farm Bureau to make sure and advocate for legislation that they see appropriate for our ag community.
Wonderful, thank you. Let's go on to the next question. Under what circumstances do you think it is appropriate for the state to restrain or check local government?
So I see the state as an integral partner of municipalities. Municipalities need to operate really well with the state, and unfortunately we've seen Columbus kind of taking some power and funding away from municipalities. I want to be the partner to municipalities that works and obtains as much as they can versus restrain in regards to capital improvement projects, it's extremely important that all of our municipalities and townships have a state representative that works very proactively with them. And that's been my experience having worked with Representative Rezabeck and serving on Clayton City Council. I've been a liaison for the city of Clayton to go into other communities and work with their leaders to help us all obtain grant funding. And that's something I really want to continue. The state is, other than the federal government, the state is a main stakeholder for all of our local governments. So it's really important that the local townships and municipalities of the 43rd House District know they have a strong advocate on their side in regards to someone in Columbus. We'll also continue to work really closely with the Ohio Municipal League to ensure legislation is beneficial to municipalities and townships. And I'm really excited. I'm excited for that part of the job. I love working with our neighbors. I love being able to communicate with others that don't typically communicate with each other. So that's something we really want to foster and really grow upon.
Thank you. And if you're elected, what will you do to ensure free and fair access to voting?
We're blessed to live in America where we have the right to vote, and that is a liberty we must always protect. Free and access to voting is extremely important. We're blessed in Ohio to have 28 days to vote here before an election. It's extremely important that our residents know about that. I know the Ohio Secretary of States have all done a great job of getting information out and getting information to individuals in regards to how they can absentee, how they can vote early to avoid lines on election day. Montgomery County and Preble County's Board of Elections have great staff members that work extremely hard with the citizens of each county and get the voting machines to the polling locations and ensure that everyone hopefully exercises their right to vote. It's always been really sad to see in municipal years voter turnout be 29 to 35%. We would always like to see it be much higher. In Dream World, we'd love to see it be 100%, but we have to work really hard to let all of our neighbors know how important their vote is. We see so many municipal elections come down to 5 or 6 votes, and a state office is no different. So it is extremely important to be proactive with the community and let them know how important their vote is and how they can vote, how they can register to vote, and getting them the resources they need to make sure they exercise their right to vote.
Thank you. Now, Kenny, would you accept campaign contributions from the NRA? Yes or no?
Would I accept campaign contributions from the NRA? Well, I haven't got any campaign contributions from the NRA yet. So I'm not, honestly, in a statewide race, I'm not sure how they go about doing that. I know with them being such an advocate to the federal government, it's a different story. So I'm not sure if the NRA PAC even donates to statewide candidates, but that's something I guess I would consider if that time ever came. I have my CCW. I do believe in the Second Amendment. My brother hunts. My brother has worked for Vandalia Range and Armory. He enjoys his Second Amendment. My family enjoys theirs. If the NRA wants to contact us about getting a contribution, that's something I definitely would look into. But I'm not sure. I don't know how much they play in statewide races.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So the next series of questions may not necessarily apply to the office that you're seeking, but it is simply another way to help the voters learn about you and who you are. So just respond to each question with one word, yes or no. Remember that you will have the last word with a closing statement if you feel the need to elaborate later on an answer. 4 questions. Number 1, do you favor serious campaign finance reform? Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you believe that climate change is a serious issue that must be addressed aggressively?
No.
Do you believe that the voter registration process should be simplified?
No.
Do you favor a ban on assault rifles?
No.
Thank you for your answers. Now, I do want to provide you some time for a closing statement today, so you do have 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. In regards to your last question, being a ban on assault rifles, I think that's something that we're going to have to really pay attention to what the federal government does. I'm not sure what Ohio will be doing moving forward with any types of bans. So that's something we really need to advocate our federal lawmakers. In regards to campaign finance laws, I know campaign finance laws are very strict and intense, and it's a good thing. We need to know and trace where money's coming from when candidates are funded. Luckily, with myself, we have a great grassroots system in place where we are depending on contributions from community leaders to get this campaign rolling. And we've been really blessed with support from hundreds of individuals that live within our own community. So we're very blessed with that. In regards to making it easier to vote, I don't believe Ohio needs to make it any easier to vote. I think Ohio needs to continue to give individuals the resources they need in regards to voting and getting to the polls with whatever they have inquiries about in regards to voting. But Ohio does a great job of having access to, letting voters have access to vote. So that's something that our viewers can contact the Secretary of State's office if they have any questions in regards to voting.
Okay, well, thank you. Once again, today we were with Kenneth C. Henning. Thank you for your participation
Thank
today.
you so much. It was great being here.
Wonderful. Remember that the polls open at 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday, May 8th. You can vote early starting April 10th, however. Remember, this election is a primary. The winner will face Dan Foley, who is the nominee of the Democratic Party in the fall election. To vote for a candidate on May 8th, you must ask for either a Democrat or Republican ballot. If you want to vote for an issue or issues only, no party ballot is necessary. Now I want to shamelessly plug the League of Women's Voters. The League never supports or opposes any candidate or political party. We are nonpartisan. We are all about educating voters and encouraging voter participation. And finally, I would like to thank DATV for helping us bring these discussions to you. They volunteer their time, expertise, and equipment. Thank you for watching, and be sure to vote.